On the channel in the past, there have been several times that we have custom-built A-pillar panels that will house mid-range and tweeter speakers. There are, of course, many benefits to installing speakers into this aftermarket location, but when I've shown the process in the past, I've always got the question, can't I just buy a set of these? After all, when making these, we oftentimes use expensive tools like a CNC laser to cut the parts, or a router and many specialized router bits. The process itself is also very time-consuming with the use of fiberglass materials to build the shape and body filler work needing to be done to smooth things out, along with, of course, the finishing steps of upholstery. Making custom A-pillars definitely requires a ton of specialty tools and time, so it's definitely a fair question to ask, where could I just purchase some? Well, one option right off the bat is, of course, to go to your local car audio specialist and have them quote doing the project. But more and more, we are starting to see the availability of a pre-made, ready-to-bolt-in solution. In this video, we're going to explore some of the available options and get some speakers mounted into them. Really quick, a thank you to our sponsor for this episode, Focal America, and their Flax Evo 3-way component set. This is the set that I'm installing in my latest build here on the channel, and it features a specialized flax cone material on the mids and woofers. This material is very light yet rigid, perfectly ensuring musical accuracy and limiting unwanted distortion. The 6.5-inch woofers pair with a 3-inch mid-range and a Focal exclusive M-profile inverted dome tweeter. With the smooth, natural sound and a price point below $1,000, this 3-way set is an immense value. These are also the speaker drivers that we're going to be mounting in this video. If you guys want to learn more, check out the links down in the video description. So the first available option for adding aftermarket speakers to your A-pillars is what I would consider a speaker pod. This is a bolt-on style solution. The idea here is that you have your normal factory panel. We've taken it out of the vehicle, of course, and this is just going to align on the panel and mount to it, and then we can install our speakers into this pod. Now, this particular pod is available to Orca dealers. Orca is the distributor for Focal America, Gladen Audio America, Moscone America, etc. So if you'd like to get this particular pod, you can find a dealer near you. A little bit more about this pod. This has a press-in grill right here that I can pop out by pushing it from the back side, and normally there would be a mounting plate in here. I don't have the mounting plate, but the purpose of having different mounting plates is it allows them to use different speaker drivers depending on the model that you choose. As an example, if I was going with the Flax Evo line here, I would have the plate that would allow these to bolt in, and then this plate would magnet hold itself in front of the drivers. These pods are 3D designed using a 3D scanner, and they're 3D printed, and you can see that they have these different mounting hole locations that we would use to actually bolt this onto the panel. Now, something to consider here, you would be, of course, modifying your factory panel slightly. You're going to be drilling into it in order to secure the pod. You would likely also need to cut some clearance holes to allow for the back side of the speakers. But nevertheless, this is an interesting purchasable solution that allows you to get custom A-pillar mounting. Now, the next option is in this box right here. This is from our friends over at SoundsGoodStereo. Now, while I get these unboxed, these are the guys that built the custom station wagon that we reviewed a few videos ago. They're a custom car audio shop that now offers many purchasable bolt-in solutions like these fully made custom A-pillars. So let's talk about these. First off, these are obviously a fully built solution. You can see I have my factory A-pillars here. I would keep my factory A-pillars because they buy their own and custom modify them and send them to us. And not only that, also in the packaging was a set of the grab handles here that we're going to install. So we don't have to worry about switching anything from this A-pillar over to this one. In this case, with the SoundsGoodStereo A-pillar here, we keep our OEM panel completely intact, which is great because if we ever go to sell the vehicle or trade it in, we can easily just swap back to factory and keep our expensive aftermarket gear. You can see that they've wrapped these in a vinyl material in order to match the interior of the vehicle, and depending on your interior, there's a couple of different color options you can choose from. They also have different options for the speakers that you're going to be using, so you would pick that when ordering as well. In this case, we are going with the Flax drivers, which fit in there perfectly. And they have several different grill options for the piece that's going to press fit in here once we install the speakers. That's what's in these here. Normally you would just choose one, but they were cool enough to send us all three so that we could see the available options. First off, they have this elongated honeycomb style grill with a very large open area. To me, this gives more of the aftermarket look with having the advantage of that large open area. And I do want to point out, these are really nice and detailed. You can see that cool little etched trim line that they added around the edge there. And you can also see these are layered. There's a clearance between this mounting surface and the backside of the grill material itself. Let's check their fitment here. These are press fit held in, and these secure really nicely. So here you can get an idea what this first grill design looks like. For the next grill design, it's actually not much of a grill at all. It's more of just a speaker plate that's going to trim around the outside edge of the speakers. To demonstrate this one, I've got the speakers positioned here, and as a quick side note, you are going to need to remove the grill off of the tweeter in this particular instance if you're using the Flax Evo drivers. This is quite easy to do, and you'll want to make sure that you look at the backside of the tweeter. It has a small little tab that you can see right there. That tab needs to line up with this tab here in the A-pillar in order to properly be installed. Super cool that they added that minor little detail. So now we can carefully mount this plate and again press fit it into place. Obviously normally you're going to secure the drivers first, but nevertheless this gives you a look at this style. What do you guys think of that? Now the third available option is this much finer mesh that you guys can see here. In my opinion, I like this one the best, but I'd love to hear from you guys which one is your favorite so far. This obviously has much less open area, but it gives us much more of an OEM look and design. Let's get these positioned. This is just a quick little test fit so that you guys can see. I didn't push it all the way in quite yet because I still need to mount those drivers. Let's do that now. The tweeter itself is press fit in, and they did a great job with the fitment here. It has a nice tight fit. It's not going to easily fall out. And for the mid-range, you can see that they already have pre-drilled some mounting holes for us that are going to line up with the mounting holes of the speaker. So we want to pay attention to the logo there and clock them in the same orientation on each of the pillars. But then we're just going to use some of the included mounting hardware that comes with the drivers to mount these in place. After installing the press fit grill mesh, I take one of the included OEM handles here and position it on the A-pillar. So now all I need to do is get this bolted into the vehicle. Well, on second thought, that's not all we need to do. We do need to connect that speaker wiring also, but what do you guys think about the way that these look? Personally, I'm really impressed with the fit and finish here. SoundsGoodStereo did an incredible job making these. So, although we could build our own custom A-pillars, it's great to see some car audio companies coming out with a pre-made, ready to bolt in solution. Now don't forget, next time you're looking for a 3-way component set, be sure to check out the Flax Evo series from our show sponsor, Focal America. Learn more about this at the link down in the video description. A big thanks to them along with Jerry and the rest of the Patreon membership team for making these videos possible, and of course thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching.